we go. Hello, Team Awesome. Welcome to our weekly Zoom. Thanks to those of you who faithfully jump on here every week. Meeting makers make it, and this is no different than any other. And like I posted for Cassie's congrats for another loyal customer, you can kind of tell maybe your level of success. I can't remember exactly what it said, but by the last 5 conversations you had. And we always say, like, pay attention to who you're surrounding yourself with, because you do become like the 5 people that you hang around most with. And really, in this day and age, that includes, and might be for some of us, more limited to social media. So be really careful what you're putting in your tank and who you allow yourself to be influenced by. But tonight, you're going to get influenced by some rock stars. And I think it's probably been quite a while since we've done this. We used to do it more often when we had conference calls. But we're going to share our stories, and I'll let Kassi and Jana share theirs, and we'll just kind of see how much time is left. We may do a little Q&A, or we'll kind of see how it goes. But I think it's really important to hear periodically from especially those of us who have stuck it out and are in it for the long haul. Because if you are familiar with network marketing, it can be a roller coaster ride, and you can either embrace that ride, throw your hands up and scream with excitement, or you can react with fear and jump off the ride at the first little bump. We're in it for the long haul, and our arms are like this. Like, let's go, bring it on. We know huge, amazing things are coming for 2017, and I could not be more excited about these upcoming months. So, who would like to go first, Jana or Kassi? And Cassie's unmuted first, so she gets to go first.
I'll jump on.
Winner, winner. So why don't you just maybe tell us who you are, where you're from, how long you've been with It Works, how you discovered this company, and then just a little bit about your journey and maybe a tip or two.
Sure. So my name is Kassi, Cassandra Elizondo. I'm in rank with It Works. I've been in for about 2 years and not slowing down anytime soon. I'm from Sela, so it's a small part of Yakima. It's funny because when you're from Washington State, you're like, I'm so far away from Seattle and then so far from Yakima. You know, like it's kind of like a hop and a skip from the pond. What else was there?
How you discovered It Works?
So I know now my memory's not the best, and that's one of the things I hate. Not necessarily on how I remember joining, but I don't really remember the relationship I had with Will, because Will had signed me up. He was ambulance driver, or worked for one of the companies that came through the emergency room where I worked, and I know that we were friends on Facebook, and I just remember this guy coming up to me when I was sitting as secretary, and I'm like, dude, you gotta you can't talk to me here. I'm working, But I remember seeing a post of his on Facebook about something like who wants to try the rep for free or have a party or something like that. And it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I happened to be on. So I was like, yeah, that sounds fun, because we were already wanting to get in better shape. We were already seeing a personal trainer for about 6 months, Jason, my husband and our older son, just to get better, in shape. Not so much to really drop a lot of weight, but more because of my husband's knee injuries and my shoulder injury or surgery that I just came off of. So it was more of building strength. But I met with Will because I commented on his post, and then he let me try the wrap for free before my party, and I loved the results because it got rid of that kind of the belly flat, the belt buckle went down and my belly got flatter. So I absolutely love that because I didn't have to do 1,000 crunches. I'm active, but I'm lazy. So if that makes sense, I like to see the results without having to do 1,000 crunches and that kind of stuff. And it's funny because my first rep, I bloated, but he told me, you know, the more you bloat, the more you will see results kind of thing, like a toxic bloat. So obviously I had some toxins in there that I had to get rid of, which living on Pepsi most of my life, of course, I was filled with toxins. I knew that. And I loved my results. My rep party was later on, and I turned my rep party into my launch party because I loved my results. And so I had a good turnout at that rep party. My second rep party, I think my friend that came to the first party showed up, and same with my second rep party. But, you know, that happens, and you take advantage of it and just learn and grow as you go. What else can I say?
Well, maybe how has your life changed since It Works came into it? Because it sort of has a tendency to become our lives.
Right. Yeah. I'm totally infused with It Works. So before It Works, I was already working full-time at the hospital. I was doing online college through University of Phoenix because I knew I needed a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree and then bachelor's in something. I didn't know what, but I knew from what people were talking at the hospital, you need that, you know, eventually like a desk job or something, because our bodies can only hold out for so long. So I didn't really know where I was going in life, but I knew that I needed, I guess, better education to, I guess, give me that dollar amount later on when I need it. Working full time, busy with kids, going to sports, about 4 different sports because the kids are all different ages. And so I was kind of looking for an extra income at the same time. And that really opened my eyes to see how easy it was, because I had tried something totally different many years ago. And I'm not a good salesman. I was usually like, okay, here's the book. You tell me what you want, you know. And I ended up getting stuck with like $2,000 in products. So to see how good It Works took off, and the fact that I didn't have to carry inventory and, you know, the product sold itself, that was just mind-blowing to me. And that just keeps me plugged in even more because it just makes it that much easier. But we were able to go on vacation a few months down the road and took the kids to California. We road trip down there for a week to Huntington Beach, did the City Pass, which was Universal Studios, Disneyland, and SeaWorld. And that was a blast. And then like a couple months later, we went to Florida, which I never dreamt of going to Florida, but now I'm totally in love with it and want to move down there. So it's really infused my life for the better. I knew that I wanted to grow more in a positive way, and just the culture alone within It Works with the positive people. It totally, like you had mentioned, you know, you surround yourself by people that you would trade places with, I guess. And you just instill that in your life. Like you can't help but do more positive and go up from there. So I guess it's really helped me and my family dream a bit more, know that living paycheck to paycheck is not the norm. I mean, it's not how it's supposed to be. And so, but a lot of people just find themselves settling for that situation. And so I know that's been a big, tremendous, I mean, right now I am staying at home and able to work my business, and now we're able to take on my 2 nieces as well, which if I was working full time, and you know, it's just over the last 2 years, it's definitely changed our life for the better and made us able to do things we probably wouldn't have ever thought about doing.
That's just so amazing. And when you said, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, it is the norm, and it's really sad because you're solely dependent on somebody else for your livelihood, which in these times is really frightening because there is no such thing as job security anymore. And my goodness, if you're dependent on that paycheck coming in every Friday and you get told on Monday, hey, you're out of a job, oh my gosh, it's really scary. So just knowing, I think that there is a different way and that we get to share that with others, like that's exciting to me.
And the point that, so I'm used to working 2 jobs. I missed a lot of my kids' I guess, ages birth through, you know, 10 basically, because I worked 2 jobs, 16-hour days. And the fact that I was able to work my business on a part-time or even like half of a part-time basis, it was just I was able to work my business in the free time that I did have, like a lunch break or late at night or early in the morning, just to make that disciplined action. I didn't have to go somewhere. I wasn't leaving the kids, to go get paid 2 weeks later from work I did now. You know what I mean? Like it made it a whole lot easier for me to not miss out on more of my kids' life, because that was one thing that was really a big deal to me, because I know the kids mirror what you do. If you're too busy for your kids, eventually they're going to grow up and be too busy for you. And that's one of my fears, that I was like, well, now, they're going to be grown up and I'm not going to know or see them hardly ever. So I definitely wanted to take advantage of spending as much time as I can before they leave the house.
Oh gosh, absolutely. Because the relationships you form with them when they're young are so critical to get you through those teenage years. And I love what you said, that you're super busy, you're working 2 jobs, but you were still able to build yourself to diamond. And when people tell me they're too busy, I get super excited when they say they're too busy for this business, because I want those people on my team. People who say they're they're crazy busy, I'm like, well, I see you on Facebook occasionally. And if you're going to be on Facebook here and there anyways, why not make some money by being on Facebook or other social media? So I think that's really important for people to know, that this is super easy to fit in. If you can, what's it take to throw a post up? Literally seconds. And we do that anyways, no matter how busy we are. So yeah, why not get paid for it and give yourself the gift of owning your own time eventually?
Yeah.
Love that. Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Kassi. I hugely appreciate it. And can't wait to see how you're going to kill the rest of this month. You are on fire.
Yeah, well, it's all about that mindset, and I truly believe it, because as much as, like I was sharing earlier today, I was kind of in like one of those blah moments yesterday, but I knew that if I kept that blah mentality, that was just going to totally absorb my business. That, you know what I mean? Like it really, negative stuff will be attracted to your life the more you think about it, dwell on it, that kind of stuff. But as soon as you start plugging in positive affirmations or something positive, you're going to find more positive stuff coming your way. And I'm glad during my blah moment yesterday, I was still trying to keep a positive mindset, and that actually ended up bringing a new person wanting information about business, and then a random stranger wanting information about the skinny pack or wraps and everything. So it's all about the mindset. And I think one of the tips I would share is self-development. I can't speak enough about it. I've read or listened to The Compound Effect many times, and even today I was listening again, and one of the biggest things, 2 biggest things, so I'll share real quick so I'm not hogging this whole thing. He says that in the compound effect, little things plug away at you and they eventually it's a snowball effect is what it is. So an average person from age 12 to adult spends about 4.7 hours watching TV, which accumulates to 2 whole months out of the whole year. And people wonder where the time goes, why they are stuck in the same place they are. Well, you just wasted 2 good months right there. Now, I'm not saying to stop watching TV, but maybe be more mindful about how much time you spend watching it, because I love my Big Bang Theory. I love my Walking Dead. I still watch a couple shows here and there, but it's more of a reward more than just I'm going to sit here and veg kind of thing. And then the other thing he was saying is, no matter where you are in life or even physically, like say you live in a town, or even if you're in the country way out, not close to anybody, you still have the resources to surround yourself with people you would love to trade places with. Meaning there are people who have put down all of their resources, their thoughts, their experiences in a book for you. All you have to do is go out there and read it and learn from it, or listen off of Audible. The more you expose yourself and absorb or listen to them daily, that's basically you surrounding yourself with your friend, John Maxwell or John Rohn, or somebody else, but you're surrounding yourself with that life source that's going to help and I guess ignite that flame inside of you.
Yes, I think that's great advice, regardless of if you're in this business on our team or not. People spend so much time in their cars at listening to the radio or the news or whatever, you're just filling your mind with nonsense. Why not turn your car into a college classroom and make yourself a better, happier person? So awesome advice. That book is absolutely fantastic. I feel like everybody should read it. So thanks again for sharing, and we'll move on to Ms. Jana McCarthy. And Jana was my very first distributor, started 2 days after me, one of the first people that I reached out to, and she has been my faithful sidekick for the last 5 years in this business, and I'm super excited to see where the next 5 years takes us. So Jana, same thing, who you are, where you're from, how long you've been with It Works, and maybe just a little bit about your journey and a couple tips.
Okay, Jana McCarthy. I am from Winnett, Montana. Now I forgot what all you said. Been in 5 years. I laughed at Kassi for doing that. Been in 5 years as of October. A little bit about
I took part of it because one of the questions was how you discovered It Works, so I kind of stole that from you.
So yeah, Deanna messaged me on October 17th. I went back and looked. October 17th, and 2 days later, I messaged her back because I had to talk to my husband, and I said yes. Well, what she probably didn't know at the time was my husband had just lost his job. And not really lost his job where we ranch, and the family that we ranched for, that we had, and they had expected us to be their forever home, had to sell their ranch. Several of the older people had died, and the wives had wanted their money, so the ranch had to be sold. So our forever home was literally jerked out from underneath of us. So I was the sole provider, and I was at a good job, but when you are used to having those two good paychecks, when one disappears, it's a kick to your gut. And so I talked to Shane, and he's never told me no. So I knew he wouldn't, but we were pinching pennies. Literally, we were robbing Peter to pay Paul, and sometimes robbing Mary to pay Peter. So it was pretty ugly. And on top of that, we were raising 4 children, all in sports, all very active and, growing. So all the expenses that go along with that. So I took the leap of faith, and I knew that my sister would never steer me wrong. I knew she'd been in businesses before. I wasn't interested in those at the time, but this one was different for some reason, and I needed to be a part of it. And so I said yes. And we just went crazy. And I did work an 8-hour-a-day job while I did this. And like I said, was raising 4 kids in basketball, softball, baseball, track, everything. And so you can do this. I was also, when I first started, in a town of 350 people in Grandview, Idaho. And at that point, when I signed up, I called Deanna back the next day, and I went, how am I going to do this? I'm in a town of 350 people. And granted, I'd been there for a while, and I knew a lot of people, but that's not going to go far. And her words to me, and I've said this over and over again, was she said, Jana, your business isn't just in the town you're in. It's in the town next to you. It's in the state next to you. It's in the country next to you. And we weren't in as many countries as we are now. But we, of course, were all over the United States, and I've got family and friends all over. So that put my mind at ease, and I went to work. And we promoted and promoted and promoted, and in that town of 350 people, I ended up promoting to double diamond the same time Deanna promoted to triple. So it totally can be done. I moved from there to a town of 100 people, continued to build my business and continued to work my business, and then I moved to a town of 150 people. So when Kassi says that, you know, there's people working all over in the big city of Seattle, well, there's people working in the little tiny, tiny, tiny town of Winnett, Montana as well. So you can literally work your business anywhere. I have worked my business at rodeos, at basketball games. I wear my wraps to basketball games. Nobody ever knows unless I show them because they don't smell. I don't want people to smell me, but I'll show them that I'm wearing one. I've signed people up sitting in the stands of the rodeo grounds watching my sons ride bucking horses. Literally, you can do this business anywhere. And that's what I have done. Because I live in such a small town, it's not, and my nearest big town is an hour and a half to 2 hours away. It's not like I can just jump in the car and go hand out Blitz cards in Billings, Montana. It has to be a little more planned than that. So I've utilized my time a little better in that I take my phone everywhere with me, literally, usually in the bathroom with me as well, because somebody might need a wrap when I'm in the bathroom. And so it's kind of like your kid. It's always with you. I don't even get, since my kids are bigger now, I don't even get to go to the bathroom in peace, but that's my choice now. I'm building an empire. I've got to have my phone with me. So when I first started, I decided that I was going to do a wrap party, and I was scared to death to do a wrap party. Scared to death to talk to people. You wouldn't know it by listening to me, but if I don't know you that well, I don't talk very much. But if I know you, you might need earplugs. But I decided I was going to do a party. Well, Deanna's in Washington, and I'm in Idaho at the time. There's no way she was coming to do a wrap party with me. So I bit the bullet, and I invited over people. And I actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people come, which was awesome. And they all wrapped. I collected money from everybody, and it was a successful party. But I also had told Deanna, if I need you, can I call you? And she said, absolutely. And I did, so I called her. But that's what we're there for. We're, you know, we don't need to hold your hand right beside you, but we will hold your hand from a distance as well. And biting that bullet and doing that first party was great for me because I had never done anything like that before. And it was kind of a stepping stone to the next step, which was a bazaar, and doing it with Deanna. And the next step was a bazaar by myself, you know, and just continuing right up the ladder. So that first wrap party was really a success for me, for my mind more than anything. So.
Well, it kind of showed you how really simple this is. I remember the first wrap party that I did here at my house, and we didn't have the party pad, which I was going to grab one, but I don't know where it is. I mean, honestly, we didn't have anything other than Blitz cards, the product pamphlet, and we had what was called the IT catalog, which was kind of a bigger catalog that sort of explained a little bit about the company and about promoting to Ruby. And maybe a little bit about the loyal customer program. So, I mean, we did it without all the fancy tools that we have now. And we did it because it was so simple. You take the wrap out of its envelope and you put it on somebody and you make them drink water. And then you show them their results after. And you go, oh my God, look at your results. And they go, oh my God, look at my results. I want more of these, or I want to sell these. Honestly, that's all it was, right?
Yeah, and that IT catalog, we actually kind of made it more complicated than we needed to, because that IT catalog, I took it apart and I put it in a little folder and all this stupid stuff, and it was kind of like the party pad, only I had made more work for myself. So yes, it was incredibly easy compared to what I thought it was going to be. I mean, I've been to many parties before. I've been to Pampered Chef. I've been to all those parties that they have to go through their whole spiel, and they stand up there with their little flip card, and you know, our party pad is so easy. It's basically us talking to each other and asking questions, and like I said, asking them if they want to wrap, if they want to be a loyal customer or distributor. I mean, you know, showing them a couple different products, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, you're done. you know, and everybody's happy usually. So.
Absolutely. And I think now, I mean, we had Skype back then, but I didn't have an account, and you know, it was one of those things, it was new, and I didn't really want to learn anything new necessarily. Now, like, even though I don't have the greatest internet, I still can connect with anybody. I did a Zoom or a Facebook call, a Facebook video call with a girlfriend from Germany to talk to her about the business. So we can reach out and touch anybody in any country that we are open in. So, you know, I tell everybody new that joins my team, just because you're not right here with me doesn't mean I can't be there for your launch party. Like, I can phone it in, I can Zoom it in, I can Facebook Live it in, and I can be there kind of in the background to help you out.
Well, and that's the thing. We've got so many of those social media and, like I said, the phone, the FaceTime, that you can have that handheld even though you're a distance apart. And really, truly, for me, I'm a trial by fire kind of girl. Almost every job I've ever had, when I walk in the door, it's like the busiest they've ever been. It's the most people they've ever seen that day, or whatever, you know, something has happened that it's made it. And so for me, trial by fire, kind of, you know, jumping in with both feet, and sink or swim time. Come on, girls, sink or swim, you know, and you're going to swim. I mean, really, if you sink in this business, it's because you're not doing anything. You're going to swim. If you have one person at that party or 30 people at that party, they don't know that you don't know what you're doing. They have no clue. They're just there to hear what you have to say. And that party pad makes it that much easier.
Well, and it really is all about, it's a total numbers game. It's an excitement game. Like, you have to be excited about what you have. You can't just say, hey, dude, you want to wrap? They're really cool. You should try it. You know, your excitement level is going to inspire people to want to try it. But when Stacy Schaefer just shared on the Skinny Wrap Me team page, whenever it was her day, she mentioned something about Bill Britt, and Bill Britt became a multimillionaire, maybe billionaire with Amway. He has since passed away, but he was my upline when I was involved with that company. And this is like a famous quote of his, and I don't remember the numbers exactly, but he showed the plan, which was fairly complicated back then. It was a good hour to 2 hour long presentation. Very, not simplistic at all. It was quite complicated. He showed the plan to however many hundreds of people, had this many join him, but in the end, it was only 11 of those people who helped to propel him to millionairedom and financial freedom. But he had to put himself out there and talk to hundreds and hundreds of people in order to find those 11.
Yep, exactly. And your enthusiasm and your excitement are huge. I get comments on that all the time, that you're so excited about. I can tell you really are, you know, you really believe in this and you really like the product because you're excited. When I get excited, I start to talk really fast, and so so they're like, okay, but they listen to me, and your excitement is going to catch them on fire as well, whether they want to do the business or whether they want to just do the product. Your excitement is going to be what captures them, and that's what he got. Those 11 people bought into his excitement and got excited themselves. And because our stuff is exciting, and it is exciting. I got the Christmas cash. I've been in for 5 years, and $100 Christmas cash makes me excited because, you know, it's $100 for doing my job, for just doing what I normally do anyway. It's $100 extra in my paycheck, you know. So, oh, what did you say, Kassi?
Being a product of the product, that brings the excitement. It's true.
Totally
it's like for anything. I mean, we go to a new restaurant. I can remember being super excited about trying halibut cheeks the very first time I ever had them at Stanley and Seaforts in Tacoma. those things were, it was like the best meal I had ever eaten. And I remember telling everybody that would sit still and listen, oh my gosh, you got to get to Stanley's. You got to try those halibut sheets. Best meal you've ever had. Well, I don't get anything from Stanley and Seaforts for sending people there or raving about their food, which, by the way, I don't rave about it anymore. It's not like it used to be. But, you know, I mean, we have stuff like that come up every day in our lives, and we share about it without any compensation. So,
well, look at how we talk about Anna Maria Island. I send people,
yes.
tell people, go to Anna Maria Island. I get nothing out of that except for the joy of seeing them excited that they get to go to Anna Maria Island too, and then hearing about their experience there. You know, Anna Maria, it's the same thing. It's no matter what you do, if you have a passion about it or for it, it's going to come across. And being that product of your product, and if you're not a product of our product, I'm not sure how you can share that with other people, because only by using them and talking about them can you engage other people in them, because it just, I don't know. I couldn't tell you that, oh my God, the greens are so great and they've done this and this and this, if they hadn't have done it for me. I mean, I can tell you what they do for Deanna all day long, but my friends don't know Deanna. You know, well, some of them, most of them. Okay, my friends don't know Cassandra, you know, so I don't really care what it does for her. I mean, that's great and all, but when you come across with your own experience, with your own, what's this called?
Testimony.
Thank you. Testimony. It comes across so much more genuine, and because it is genuine. So
For sure. People want to know what these products did for you. They don't want to know what they did for Sally Smith. They don't know who Sally Smith is, and they don't care because they know and trust you.
Yeah, and they want to see it. If you've had great experience with the cleanser and stuff for acne or for your face, for however, show them that. Show them your before picture with your acne. Don't be embarrassed. Be excited. You know, this is what it did for me. I'm so mad that we didn't take a picture of Kale beforehand, my son, because it cleared up his acne incredibly. But, you know, he's a boy, so I never thought about it.
Yep. For sure. Well, so we don't keep this going on too awful long. I'm going to save my story and I'll tell it on a different Zoom. But Jana, and then maybe Kassi, you two can pop back on and just share a little bit about why conference is so important.
Okay, well, I'm going to give my tip, but my first tip is same as Cassandra's. Read. Every time I either read or listen to a book, it changes my life. It changes. Somebody comes into it, somebody asks a question, somebody signs up, some part of it, and normally it's business related, but that every single time I go for days without reading anything, and then I'm like, God, I'm kind of, you know, not in a slump, but just kind of and then I'm like, oh, that's what I haven't been doing. I listened to GoPro twice, completely, from start to finish on the way to Washington one time in my car on Audible. I finished it, I started it over again and heard more that time. So read. The Aladdin Factor is a great book. GoPro is a great book. We've got lots of them that we can post on there on LBL. There probably is some already on there. I don't know. So go search it, find a book, and start reading or listening to it. You need it. Okay, conference. Well, you just have to go. You know,
just because I said.
You just have to go. Give me your credit card. I'll buy your plane ticket. You just have to go. It is an experience that can only be experienced. I can't tell you what it's going to do for you. I can tell you that I know that it's going to change your life, but I can't tell you how, because it's just, you have to be there to experience this. The people that you'll meet, the stories that you'll hear, the testimonies that you'll get to witness, will just, they're life-changing. They are, some hit you in the gut and you're crying like a big old ball baby, and other ones you're laughing and having a good time like you're at a big party. They're just, you just have to go. You have to experience it. The conference itself is amazing. Getting to see Mark, Pam, and Mike up there on stage is phenomenal. But the party before and after, at our condo or at the restaurant or whatever, with you guys, our teams, whether you're my direct downline or you're my sideline or you're my upline, is where it's at. That's usually where more of the it is always where the connection is made between us, and we've become like sisters. Some closer than my real sisters, because, well, besides Jana.
Nobody can take my spot.
As close, no, never. As close as my real sisters, as close as my blood sisters. There's just something about being there and being in that environment with each other and connecting that you cannot get anywhere else. I love these Zooms and they connect me with you guys on here, but to be able to walk up and give you a hug and tell you I'm so excited for you and so excited to see you and is amazing. So just get there. Just do as I say and get there.
That's exactly right. Perfect. Thanks, Jay. Kassi, do you have anything you want to add about conference?
Yeah, I'm not muted. Okay, there, I had to fix that. Conferences, if you haven't been to a 121 mission, those are very good to go to. They're inspiring. You get a lot of information, product, business. Conference is on a whole nother level, though, because first of all, it's 3 days worth. It's a lot of inspiring stories, business building tips. It's very contagious, that excitement that we just talked about. It's just, you just can't help but come out of that feeling like you're going to go run the world because you have that self-worth again. It's just so inspiring in its own way. And I personally have to say, I watch Green Carpet very special to your business. You will definitely grow in more ways than one when you go to conference or Green Carpet. And I watched Green Carpet last year on pay-per-view. That is not the same. You get the information, but that excitement that is surrounded, and not only that, but the people that are there and the stories that they can share with you on how to build your business, not even the people on stage, but the people you meet at conference can help you build your business a million times better than if you didn't go, is my opinion.
Yep. And if you're concerned about getting there, figure it out. I'm serious. There are ways. Kassi and I, Lauren, Brandy, and Amber are driving. Yeah, it's a long ways, and it's going to take us 33 hours each way. But you know what? I've actually already done it once, and it is so much fun. Don't listen to Deanna. Don't look at her. Yeah, let's see. Laughing her. There we go. I think I'm beside her in my screen, so I don't know if I'm beside her on yours, but get there.
If you can get in a car and drive, get in a car and drive, because it's the best experience that you'll ever have, and the best memories that you'll ever make, and you'll hold them in your heart forever. Just get there.
Yep. Julie and I and Chris Falgood drove to Green Carpet in October of 2013? 14.
14, I think. Yeah.
14. And it was amazing. It was amazing. 2,500 miles from my house, so from Billings. Julie had another 900 before she even got to me. But it was amazing. The memories and all that. If you don't want to drive, fine. Get a plane ticket. Get there. Start saving your money. If you can't get a conference ticket, well, figure that out too. But you know what? The party after the party during the party is a blast as well. So even if you can't get to conference, get to the condo.
For sure. And again, thanks for sharing, ladies. And the reason why I feel like sharing these stories is important, and what you will see a lot more of at conference, is that there are so many different top leaders that come from all different walks of life, that look like beauty pageant queens to frumpy housewives and everywhere in between, that are you know, overweight, that are stick thin. You know, there is no one thing. That somebody made a comment one time a long time ago, and I can't remember whose post it was on, but said something about, oh, I know you have to be beautiful to be successful at one of these businesses. Like, well, first of all, I think everybody's beautiful, and if you don't think you are, then you've got more problems than I can fix. So start reading or see a therapist. But no, that's got nothing to do with it, and that's just another excuse for your own failures or downfalls or whatever, is, you know, putting something like that out there. That's just silly. Anybody, and I mean anybody, can be wildly successful at this business. And that's one of the reasons why I really encourage you all to get to conference, because you're going to see that. You're going to see people and you're going to go, oh my Lord, if they can do it, I got this thing whipped, because they are no better than you. They've just heard no more times. They've spent more hours in self-development, you know, whatever it may be. They've wrapped more people. They didn't give up. So
They never.
that's really one of the biggest reasons why you need to be there. And what I got from my very first conference, this will be my 6th with It Works. I have been involved in network marketing since I was 18 years old. So that was just, you know, a few years ago, since I'm only 29. Wink, wink. But I have experienced all sorts of different types of conferences, from very super straight-laced to the other side of the spectrum, which is It Works. And Mark likes to say we're more Jimmy Buffett than Warren Buffett. But we're going to have the bank account of Warren Buffett. But we're super chill and laid back, and you can go to conference and be perfectly comfortable in flip-flops and shorts if you want to, as long as they're not super raggedy, a tank top, whatever. We're super chill. It's not about the outfit that you wear. It's about how much you share, honestly. So that was one thing that really stuck with me, that and I have always, every single corporate event that I've been to, I've been left wanting more. There's no like looking at your watch and going, gosh, is this over yet? Or trying to keep yourself awake. I'm like, oh yeah, give me more, give me more. We're done? We can't be done. Can we stay? We just talk a little longer, you know, and I love that feeling. So do whatever you can to get there. We do still have room in the condo. Flight prices will be going up, so grab them while they're hot right now if you possibly can. Or yeah, jump in a car. I know there's plenty of people that are road tripping from here and there, so you know, fly to Arizona and then road trip with those people. I don't know, whatever it takes to get there, you just need to be there for sure. And you know, can you be successful without getting to conference? Yeah, you can, but it's going to be a whole lot harder for you. So I just can't encourage you enough. So again, thanks for sharing, Rockstar ladies. I can't wait to interview all of y'all. Get yourselves to Diamond and we'll highlight you on one of these videos. And thanks for taking time out of what I know is probably real busy schedules with holidays coming. So I do appreciate you guys hopping on here, and I'll have the video uploaded by morning for sure.